Same question, Fritz. What makes you think you can?
I'm a social worker. That's what we do. That's my answer. No, but there are so many ways that we already collaborate with the county. The landfill. The planning and zoning department has already begun that effort. It's a huge project, but they make steps along the way. So there's already a track record for collaboration. Now, to date, the rest of the record is deplorable, but we do have a foundation from which we can build. As we collaborate, it's going to be very easy for our counselors and county partners to agree on a certain parameter from which to work. Health, safety, welfare, cost effectiveness, streamlining, so that small businesses have a chance.
60 seconds.
Thanks.
Jerry, same question. What about you makes you believe you can relate to the county better than the current councilors?
Well, as a new candidate and as a new office holder, I bring to the table the fact that I'm running a positive campaign. I'm not coming into office with any personal or political vendettas or personal or business interests at stake. And, I'm willing to sit down and talk to anyone and everyone. And in fact, I have throughout the scope of my campaign. I'm proud to say that, I've sat on many a JJAC, juvenile justice board meeting with Fred's. I went to school with Pavel's son. Amy, your son and I are, very close. We've known each other for a long time. I mean, I've even walked Judy Cantu to her car on a dark night. So, the community. And then Rudy, you wanted me to marry your daughter. So the communication is already there, and my attitude and willingness are there too, as evidenced by my campaign. Thank you.
Let's get a microphone to Councilor Bate. Okay.
Thank you. The town of Taos enjoys an excellent working relationship with everybody. UNM Taos for the new downtown campus. The Taos Municipal Schools for the 23 acres of the Echo Park. The town of Taos has an excellent relationship with the county when they built their new judicial complex. We granted variances, we worked together. It's just that on two complex issues, the airport annexation and the command center, because the county commission did not have a majority, we haven't been able to solve that issue. I offer you folks a solution. Let's get binding arbitration. Let's let the binding arbitrator decide, does the dispatch center stay on Rooster, or does it go to the new dispatch center that the county's going to build for $1.4 million of your taxpayer dollars? And whatever that arbitrator decides, we'll move or they'll move, and it'll be solved, plain and simple. Previous administrations never went down this road because there was a complex issue. The airport annexation is another difficult situation. 30 years in the making. Everybody knows the new cost movement.
Okay, we touched upon a couple of. We're still on town and county harmony, or in this case, acrimony. So, Judy, 30 seconds to respond to anything you've heard, or 30 seconds you didn't get in before.
Well, basically, everybody has pretty good responses. I just really feel it's a collaboration between the town and the county. We're all really one, and it's really crucial that communication is good and that we're open-minded, that we listen to each other, and it's good to work together. That's what we teach our kids. We've got to do that ourselves.
Thank you. Okay, Amy?
Can I just say ditto? No, actually, we do need to work together. We need to, the county and the town need to work together for the constituents. That's what the elected officials are there for. They're there to work for you and to make things work for you. If that means holding hands with the county, you need to do it. You need to make everything work for the constituents. Thank you.
I say let's call the wolves away, put all the officials in one room and not let them out until they come up with a resolution.
Well, look, when you think about the town has made one terrible mistake. They built it before anyone came. We needed a joint powers agreement in effect prior to, not after the fact. That's the essential problem.
Jerry?
Let's drop the lawsuits. Let's sit down with a neutral arbitrator and agree to binding arbitration and get it out that way. If it comes out that the county complex is best, so be it. If it comes out that the new 911 complex is better, so be it too. But let's get it out of our hands and into the hands of a non-binding, neutral. Out of the hand. Let's get it to a binding arbitration with a neutral mediator, or put it to a vote by you, the people.
8 years ago, when I wrapped with my first 4-year term, I introduced the idea of one combined government. Maybe the time has come to have one combined government, not a town of Taos, not a county of Taos, but one combined government where everybody is duly and equally represented, and that time has come, folks. With complex issues like this, it shows us that the time's here, but it's really up to you, the constituents, if you want to do that.
Okay, now we can move forward. Again, the source of much of the acrimony between the town and the county, really on two issues that just about everybody has touched on already. First of all, the command center. And again, I'll ask you, Amy, you're first up this time around. In your opinion, was it the right decision? Was it the right move for the county to move into the Kit Carson Electric building facility? And if not, where do we go from here? Because obviously, again, lawsuits are costing us a lot of money.
Thank you, Patty Mac. When I was on the town council, I opposed moving into the Kit Carson command center. We didn't have a manager at the time, and the mayor went ahead and he did a contract with Luis Reyes, and the contract was to move the 4 desks for our E911 operators into a space of 1,250 square feet for a rate of $5,000 a month. Now, 1,250 square feet is the size of a normal 3-bedroom house. You can fit those desks into the living room. Right now, the town of Taos is paying $5,000 a month for 1,250 square feet of space for those 4 desks, and also $2,000 a month for utilities. Who pays $2,000 a month for their utilities in their 1,250 square foot house? It would the move. I do not approve of it. I would go in with the county moving it into their space, or moving it back to where the antenna is and the equipment that is still there at the old location. Thank you.
Hello?
Same question.
Yes.
At first glance, and mind you, speaking for myself, I don't have all the facts to make an accurate assessment, but I do have some principled issues with the command center as planned. And one of them being that the weakest link in the chain of security is the fact that we have a private organization involved in a command center and our security as citizens of Taos County. I lean toward having one command center, of course, for everybody, and the county seems like a good venue for it. Because of the reasons I've stated, and I'm sure there are a lot of other issues that the financial issues, the costs and whatnot that I'm not completely privy to, and I'll have to study it, and I'll bring myself up to speed. I promise you that. But
60 seconds.
My initial instincts tell me one command center, the county.
George?
Made in 2003 and 2, and Luis was looking at this, was if I build it, they will come. We needed a JPA, Joint Powers Agreement first. And then our county vecinos and our counselors look and decide what's best for the community. But it didn't go that way, did it? What was supposed to cost us $50,000 is now upwards and over $350,000, and some tell me by the time it's all done, it'll be over $600,000. The solution is to move into the county. I've been up in the sheriff's office. For those of you that might think that there are a whole bunch of sheriffs up there ready to quell some kind of riot, you're mistaken. There's a secretary up there. The sheriff comes and goes. There's nobody else up there. It's a waste of space. So I applaud the county for trying to give us citizens an alternative. Thank you.
Darian?
Well,
as long as we keep on bringing up names and personalities, we're not going to move farther on this issue. And, we need to, again, look at binding arbitration with a neutral mediator and go with whatever decision that neutral mediator makes. We all know Taos County is too small to have a duplication of services, especially when it comes to our E911. So, let's take the personalities and the politics out of it, and let's put it to a neutral mediator. Thank you.
Woody?
We need one combined center. Let's bring in the binding arbitrator. Let's have him look at both locations fairly, pros and cons, and do a binding decision. And the town moves there, or the county moves here. But remember, folks, 11 years ago when this started after 9/11, all the stakeholders came to the table, and they all agreed that we needed to go down this road. That included the current county commission then unanimously. Government bodies changed, the economy crashed, decisions changed. But the only way we're going to solve this is through binding arbitration.
Judy?
Well, I guess one thing that sounds agreeable is binding arbitration. When I ran last time, I found that it just wasn't feasible for the town of Taos to be in there by itself. And in the memorandum of understanding that was provided to us from Kit Carson Electric, everybody was on board at that time. But as Fritz said, that did not work out. It did not pan out. And it's been a very costly move. And after they moved, well, the building became vacant. The police department moved to the town of Taos Hall, and there's a vacant building. It was not, I don't feel it was a good idea to move to the command center. It's very costly. The antenna is still over here, and it's not over there. And actually, when you read the lease in the terms, there's a section in the terms where it says lease will start once the town of Taos has all its equipment in place and it is fully operational. Well, the tower is part of the equipment, and it hasn't been moved. And I believe that's an out. And I believe that we should go with the county and just have one command center, but not where it's at right now.
Amy, 30 seconds.
I don't know what else I can tell you. I don't believe that that we should have separate E911 services. We are too small. We need to work together. And as a council member, I would work together with the county to make that happen. We'll make it one E911 center for the whole county.
Pavel, 30 seconds.
Not knowing the guidelines and the rules and regulations, to me, having a private entity involved in the security services provided for the county, that doesn't seem right to me, and that's just for starters. So,
George?
not knowing the guidelines and the rules and regulations, to me, having a private entity involved in the security services provided for the county, that doesn't seem right to me, and that's just for starters. So,
George?
It's not. It's a relay station. The real command center in our community is over behind the Forest Service. It's the ICS. It's the Incident Command Center. If there's a spill, if there's a major wreck, guess who's handling that? The ICS, not a command center.
Derek, 30 seconds.
I think we all ultimately want to work together on this. And all I have to say is that I am the candidate to make it happen. I don't come in with any political or personal vendettas or agendas. And your vote for me is a vote for you because I represent each and every one of you, not one particular group or another. So keep that into consideration. Thank you.
The town of Taos currently spends $2,800 a month to lease the Emergency Communication Center, 2,742 square foot, a little over $1 a square foot. If you divide $2,800 into the $1.4 million for the new command center, it's going to take 41.67 years to offset that cost. But if the county wants to build it, spend $1.4 million of your taxpayer dollar, let the binding arbitrator decide if we stay over there or we move to the new place. We're happy to move.
And Judy, last word, 30 seconds.
Well, I'm really glad to hear that. They'll be happy to move, because right now they're, according to the lease, they're spending $13.50 a square foot, which is exorbitant.
That's per year,
And, well, thank you, Rudy.
$1 per month.
We need to have one command center, and it needs to be with the county.
Okay, next question. Again, most of you have touched on this already as part of our question about the town and county acrimony, and that is the airport, the expansion of the airport, the resulting attempted annexation by the town of Taos, and the judges, of course, ruling that the town could not do that, and now the appeals. Where do we stand? It's a broad issue, and a lot of us don't really understand a lot of it, myself included. Pavel, you're going to be first on this one. 60 seconds. Just give us your thoughts.
The airport is a dear subject to me for many reasons. But I think we need to call off the lawyers and stop the bleeding, stop spending money on lawyers. We're all humans. We're all Taoseños. Let's talk and let's find the best solution. At the last forum, I made a half joke, not full joke, that matching funds for the town, maybe we need to talk to Mr. Bacon, who's buying Taos Ski Valley, because his enterprises will be the major beneficiary of the expansion of the airport, because I can foresee that there will be shuttles coming from hubs all around the country, bringing skiers to his venues up at the Ski Valley. So maybe some arrangement can be worked out for the matching funds with Mr. Bacon. Other than that, another possible solution, and again, I don't have all the facts. We can maybe create the Taos Regional Airport Authority as an independent taxing location that's going to create its own tax base and is going to pay its own bills. Thank you.
George?
This is quite an issue, isn't it? There's no doubt that we need an east-west safety run. But it seems like the town is hell-bent on coming up with its portion by cutting staff, diminishing departments, which threatens our health, safety, and welfare. And the constituents that I talk to say, Fritz, for what? 6 planes a day? We already had 2 charter carriers here and they went out of business. Why are we doing this? Why is the focus all out there? It should be here in town. I don't dispute east-west safety. I also think in studying the budget, there's a measured way we can take care of our part of the 21 million. And lastly, here's what constituents in Taos are asking me. The feds give it, Fritz. What do they want to take it away? Are we going to end up with military aircraft coming in here? What else? They haven't answered that.
60 seconds.
Why is our town not bringing us citizens together to discuss some of this? So, what I hear in the streets is the feds give it, the feds will take it away.
Darian, 60 seconds.
Well, Pavel's the pilot here, so perhaps we should just defer all the answers to him on this one. No, but seriously, folks, I think Pavel has a really good idea that should be explored by everyone in the community, and that is the creation of a regional airport authority with its own taxing power, wherein everyone in the community would be partly responsible for it, but would also benefit from, expanded airport access. It would make not just, possible commercial air travel to the airport safer, but also emergency evacuation flights to Albuquerque and Santa Fe safer as well. So that's something that seriously should be explored. And Pavel, I want to thank you for actually bringing up that idea again. I think that's something that if and when I'm elected, whether you're on the council or not, we should have that discussion and explore that as a possibility. And on the issue of annexation, let's bring it to the people. Let's let the people decide by referendum whether they want to become incorporated into the town of Taos. Thank you.
The crosswind runway is needed to have safe takeoffs and safe landings. The annexation occurred. The county commission did not have their vote to offer any viable solution. There was some commissioners that had ideas, but they didn't have a majority. So we had to do what was right. The airport is needed not only for safe landing and takeoffs, but it's needed for the economic future of Taos, diversifying the economic base, the expansion of Taos Valley. You need it. It's not the land Air Force fighter jets here. The world isn't ending, Fritz. You know, you're not going to see the Air Force moving in. It's not a takeover like you think it is. It's just plain common sense. It's needed, and we did it the best solution that was available at the time. And I'm open to other alternatives. Police officers.
Judy?
I really see a future in 30 years, 40 years from now, having the airport expansion. I think it's crucial to the economic development in Taos. It's a safety issue as well. I think that regionalization is the thing that we should do, as everybody's going to benefit from this. And we also need to include Taos Pueblo. I believe that in the future, Taos needs economic development, but also Taos Pueblo in the future does as well. And it's beneficial to everybody all the way around. Now, what happened with the annexation was the town of Taos failed in meeting the criteria that was set forth, and the protocol wasn't followed. It's something that that the town and the county need to work together again on, to collaborate. They need to do the due diligence in getting everything that's required, but they also need to include the residents of El Prado, who are the most affected.
60 seconds.
And that's how I feel about both of those issues.
Amy, 60 seconds.
Thank you. The town of Taos Airport has been in need of a crosswind runway for over 30 years. We had planes back in the 80s that flipped over the fence onto and landed over on the dump in the sagebrush. That was Dr. and Mrs. Moore who had done that, and we towed their airplane back, and there was no damage to it. But we've had other planes that came up here from Texas, little Cessnas, that once in the summer the air is thinner here in Taos, so you need a longer runway to get liftoff. So we'll have some Texans come here, buy a bunch of sculptures, load up the plane, and they were not able to take off. They took out actually the fence at the end of the runway. We need a longer runway for safety. We need a crosswind runway for safety also. Now, when the town of Taos does build the crosswind runway, we will not be landing 747s. We will not be landing big fighter jets. Thank you.
All right, rebuttals or add-ons, your choice. Pavel, you've got 30 seconds.
First of all, there is nothing preventing military airplanes from flying to Taos now. The airport is 20 years too late. It is a vital economical link to the rest of the world. There has been a DOT study in Pennsylvania done. No regional a community without a regional airport will not attract medium-sized businesses to relocate to such a community. Any small business, i.e. the ones that were suggested, clean, computer, they need to jump on the plane and fly. They don't want to drive for 2.5 hours to Albuquerque. And Tom Meyer brought to my attention that we did have some military airport flights here, but there's nothing to stop them now or in the future. And it's a very good platform for firefighting. Just remember the fire by the Pueblo. The Pueblo benefited from it.
30 seconds, George.
West, I agree, safety. Why is the town hell-bent on this? Let's get the 2.1, let's get it today. What happened to that reserve that was there? $4 or $5 million just a few years ago. Just wondering. Now, let me talk to you about the Martinez land grant for a second. And the Martinez family, whose land is landlocked out there at the airport. They've been waiting for 3 administrations to deal with that issue, and no one has. They've received the promises, no one's done a thing. They're patient. Thanks.
Darian, 30 seconds.
So, yeah, of course we need the runway, not only for safety reasons, but for economic development. You know, if we want to attract scientists from Sandia, Los Alamos to start their tech startups here and use our new broadband network, they need to be able to get in and out of here quickly and safely. So, you know, the only question is, how do we fund the runway? Again, let's explore the idea of a regional taxing authority, as Pavel suggested, because it's frankly the most reasonable idea in the room at this point. Thank you.
Folks, that's why previous administrations never went down this road, because it's a very complex issue. We made a tough decision. We went down this road. In the process of annexation, we discovered that there is a state statute out there that will allow the town to collect the GRT because the airport's out in the county. And I've asked the mayor and the manager to research that with New Mexico Tax and Rev. The town will continue to receive the GRT regardless of lawsuits being dropped or going on, and the town will get this airport bill. Period. Guaranteed.
Judy, 30 seconds.
The airport expansion is just crucial for the future of Taos. It's changed over the last 30 years, and it's going to change in the next 30 to 50 years. It's something that we need for economic development, and I think it's a good idea. The annexation is a whole other issue. There's a lot of factors that are involved in that, and a lot of protocol needs to be followed there, which the town needs to do.
Amy, last word, 30 seconds.
Sure. Let's take the lawyers from the annexation and go ahead and set up the airport as its own taxable location. And let's just get it built. Let's work together hand in hand.
Thank you, candidates. Our next issue, and again, 60 seconds. We'll start with George on this one. The parking meters downtown, they have gone up more than 100% in the last year. There's been a lot of complaints about that. Is that a good idea? Is it a bad idea? Take it away. 60 seconds.
Okay, here's what I've said.